Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is a sponsored video sponsored by Nikki for Kimberly. And here's Kimberly's story. Hi, Ollie. My name is Kimberly. I came across your channel approximately 2 months ago and found that your content had been perfect to help me better understand my mother, a notorious narcissist. I am 16 years old and felt, perhaps, you may take interest in my story. I would like to begin by saying my mother is a strong woman, me being the first to witness it. My mother and I had been through hell together, and her, for the most part, still ending up back on her feet. Though she was able to return from such situations, she often spent a majority of her waking life wallowing and reminiscing upon such tragedies she had experienced. She can never let go of the past and even enjoys the misery of it. Let me give you an example. A couple years ago, when I was about 11 or 12, I had run away from home to escape her abuse. Following that, she had gone to jail for a few days, and I was staying with foster parents. Eventually, I and she was reunited, and to this day, she would bring it up and begin an argument over it, claiming her usual victim role. You ended up in foster care because your mother went, what did she get arrested for? There's got to be drugs or alcohol involved in this. Where's your dad? You're only a little older than my own daughter. Aside from being a narcissist, my mother is also a fully functioning chronic alcoholic. Instead of the usual mother-daughter relationship, it was, unfortunately, a codependency. I had to grow up very fast and mature rather quickly in order to survive with her. I know what that's like, Kimberly. A mini adult in your whole I was often used as a pawn, a trophy, a symbol of her achievement, much rather than her daughter. She and I would fight frequently, whether it be about me not acting or being up to her standards, or how I do not take her for, or how I take her for granted, or don't appreciate her enough. Following our altercations, I was and had been the victim of her emotional, mental, and often physical abuse for quite some time. Though for most of my life, it was only her and I, so she was all I knew. I was constantly in a loop of constant abuse and felt trapped as if I could never escape her. I was constantly manipulated and belittled, as she was even jealous of me. I was accused on numerous occasions of sleeping with her boyfriends or having relationships with them behind her back. Where's your dad? You're 16 years old. You're still a child. She was nowhere near a support system for me. Of course not. Not getting locked up for days at a time, being a functioning alcoholic. She'll never be. And your dad might be just as messed up as she is, so I don't know. I could come to her to explain that I'm stressed or upset, and it would often be turned around onto her. She would reply with things like, "Look what I go through, and you're stressed? You have nothing to be upset about. I make life perfect for you." And I was told the same stuff by my mother and father, when I tried to tell them that I was having problems. It's like, you think you got problems? Yeah, unfortunately, your mom is completely toxic, completely narcissistic. Sounds like she's borderline personality disorder. which would make her just a monster. You haven't mentioned your father. And today is Father's Day, so I'm wondering if this is going to come up somewhere in here. I was told what to feel and when to feel it. And as a result, it had numbed me from a young age. There is so much that went on that I could never possibly even fit into such an email. But I will save it for now. You mentioned in one of your videos that the sons of a narcissistic mothers are often the golden children. You are completely right. My little brother is an angel in her eyes, and she would never even bat an eye in his direction. He was spoiled up and down, and I could never figure out why. Thanks to your video, I've gotten some closure and understanding. My mother had gone through boyfriends like crazy, all of them supporting her financially in every other way. Okay, listen, sweetheart, listen. I'm glad you're calling this out, and I'm glad you're recognizing it. This is crucial for you right now, okay? And I know you're 16, but I'm just going to say it for you, okay? To you. Your mother's only value is in her pussy, is in her vagina. Okay, and this is the type of life that thinking through your vagina leads you, where that's where your only value is. Okay? And if you get nothing else out of this video, Elizabeth, if you get nothing else out of your video, do not connect your self-worth to who wants to have sex with you. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. Ever do it. Figure out who you are right now. You're in the driver's seat because you're only 16. Recognize how fucked up this is with your mother. Okay? Just using her pussy to get by. There was always a man involved to buy us a house or a place and make sure there was food on the table. She had one job when I was about 7 and then lost it when I was 8. She hasn't been working since, nor even tried, and constantly complained about it. Our fighting would get so bad, I would leave the house at 4 or 5 in the morning and sit in our apartment complex for hours at the end to get away from her. 50% of our fights would begin because she would wake me up in the middle of the night, drunk as can be, and ask me to come outside while she had a cigarette. That really meant sit out there and talk for hours and listen to music, which would always turn into a fight. And this is what I fear, not on this level with my own daughter. Okay, because your mother's such a fucking narcissistic child. She's trying to be 16. Trying to be the cool mom. Ugh. You can't go wrong with any of this, Elizabeth. Where's your dad? If he's fucked up and a piece of shit and in prison and in jail and you know that for sure, then okay, but I'd really like to know where your dad is. When I would refuse, she would get sent into such an anger and fury that one time she started tearing the living room apart. I would get called things like stupid bitch, whore, weird, slut, I hate you, you hate me, fucking idiot, and so much more. I know. I know. These events had gone on for 5 years, which thankfully I had just escaped. I'm living with my father now, and my mother hasn't contacted me since I left October 1st, 2017. She didn't even call me on my birthday or any holiday, nor had anyone else reached out to me. I had slept over at my childhood friend's house about a month ago. My mother and her mother had been very close. And when my mother had found out, she had called my childhood friend's parents backstabbers, good-for-nothing fucking assholes, all because they allowed me to come over. When my mother and I would get into physical fights, she would pull my hair and scream in my ear and punch me anywhere she could. Yeah, I had fights like that with my mother too. Your mom's a borderline. She has borderline personality disorder. She can't be helped. She can't be helped. Thank God you're with your father. Thank God he's in your life. A couple times she would hold me down by my neck so I couldn't breathe and scream. And when I would fight back the next day, she would show her bruises to me. Mind you, she was sober and say, "Look what you did to me." I never understood any of it. I didn't even know what a narcissist was. I hadn't realized any of it until recently, just escaping her. As a result of such abuse, I suffer from PTSD and I have a very high amount of both numbing and hypervigilance. My anxiety is through the roof every day and I'm constantly a nervous wreck. I can't handle being yelled at or even being mad at because it sends me into such a frenzy. It makes it very hard for my dad or any one of the adults in my home to understand. I've been gathering as much research and information as I can about narcissism and PTSD and share such empathy for anyone who has to deal with narcissistic parents. Though as traumatic as growing up with my mother has been, it has taught me a numerous amount of things that I wouldn't trade for the world. Thank you for all you do in sharing victim story and spreading awareness across the net about narcissism. I look forward to all the information and videos you put out. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Kimberly. Kimberly, I want you to show this video to your dad. Okay, and to Kimberly's dad, you know, if you want to call me to better understand what your daughter's going through, please do. And I'm going to send my information to Kimberly. Okay? I'm very happy you're in her life. She's been through... She and I have the same mother, man. You have no idea the damage this girl has gone through. And for you, Kimberly, and your dad, if you're both watching it now, you know, what I said to you about understanding who you are and being happy for yourself. You're young, you can get through this anxiety right now. What's most important, what you never can do, Kimberly, is attach your value to who wants to have sex with you, to who wants to date you, to who thinks you're cute, to what other woman is doing. Don't let other women tear you down, Kimberly, because you're going to be very susceptible to other women like your mother. And women are nasty and can be very nasty and competitive to begin with. Do not attach your value to anything another woman tells you, thinks about you, has bought, is dating, any of it. Your value is attached to you. Okay, and that is most crucial. So, make sure you show this to your dad, please. Okay, and Kimberly's dad, if hopefully she shows this to you and you watch, you have, please contact me if you want to follow up, and I can at least put some perspective in this for you and maybe give you some, so if you want to talk to me, you could better tell me what's going on, how you're seeing it with Kimberly, and I could tell you probably better than she can explain or even explain to me what she's probably going through and feeling. Okay, because you got one shot at this, man, and you can't, and you can't, for her sake. She's 16. You can't screw it up. So, I hope that helps. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you, Kimberly, for being brave enough to send this in. And thank you to Nikki for sponsoring. I really appreciate it. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comments section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to make sure it succeeds, keeps growing and expanding. Because without you, this channel goes away, supported 100% on contributions from all of you. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance.